GM fam, we are live with your host Phil X Contreras, Zircon, and Soul Investor with Value Vibes podcast, talking about everything on Bonk and Taiyo Pilots. Crazy NFT pumps that have been going on right now. Let's get it. What's up, Zircon? What's up, Soul Investor? Happy New Year. How are you guys doing? How's it going, Zircon?
Happy New Year, Phil. Everything is being really fine, at least on my end. I've been really quiet on NFTs lately. Since I'm on a trip, I've not been able to trade much. I've been looking at collections, but even though I've been looking at collections, I've been out like for 3 days, and all of a sudden I see Bonk all over my Twitter, Taiyo Pilots pumping to 40. I don't know, crazy stuff is going on in the last couple of days. So it's really interesting and really good to see people still interested on Solana NFTs and on trading NFTs actually.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely going to be talking about Bonk. Soul Investor, how's it going, man? How's it going down there?
Pretty good, man. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year all.
Phil, I think you're literally the only one out of the three of us that have alpha on this Bonk thing, because
Yes.
I just kept hearing about it on Twitter, kept hearing it's some sort of shitcoin. I never really looked into it. It was New Year's. I was just trying to get over the hangover. And this thing just can't stop pumping.
Yeah, so with that said, let's talk about FTX. Let's just start from the beginning. And I think you'll be the perfect person to basically just explain FTX in like a 1 minute segment to where it'll lead off to Bonk and how Bonk started, because that's where it really just begins.
Yeah. Look, okay, so we all know FTX crashed, but FTX crashing has really hit the sort of DeFi and the ICO and the coin airdrops market really hard. And the reason for that is because there was a lot of interconnection between Solana's DeFi and FTX's exchange. Whenever a token went live, whenever an ICO happened, whenever a token got airdropped or whatever, it would get listed on FTX. And really, this is what gave a lot of these tokens a market within the space. So once FTX crashed, we weren't seeing any big ICOs that were really blowing up the space or anything, right? DeFi crashed immediately with FTX. Of course, this affected every other every other DeFi platform on Solana as well. So we saw this token be released in an extremely unique way. It got airdropped to some of the largest NFT collections on Solana. Majority of the holders, if not all of the holders, have already been airdropped this token. And this really got a lot of the community, that sort of community involvement that was quite lacking, since there wasn't really a strong market for a lot of these tokens to jump on without FTX being there.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the part that really like brings that, I guess, that allure story on. Oh, since you talked about FTX, Bonk Coin came in, and what with Bonk Coin, like we were all hurt from FTX. We were all damaged from it, and we no longer basically like that kind of idea, that type of play. And then when this thing came out, Bonk, the first thing that like caught the marketing perspective is that it's the first Solana Dogecoin for the people, by the people, with 50% airdrop to the Solana community. So like all these big NFT collections got Bonk. I received Bonk. A lot of friends received Bonk, and it was a different play because it felt like it was your coin when you received it. It felt like there's no like big dog like FTX like that basically released this, and we all know what they're doing with it. It started as grassroots, let's just say, and it started off with you, me, him, and her, just degens, and that's what like the lore story happened. So like with that, it just grew on Twitter like crazy, because it was just from all of us, and that's the beauty of it. Now with that being said, I swapped mine. The first day it came out. Even though I just said this beautiful story, I just swapped it all out. And then I never knew it was gonna go this crazy. Like just like even today, like they just announced like it just came on some exchanges, which is even more crazy to think about.
Yeah.
And what's even crazier is what the impact of this is. So the impact with this is like it got a lot of attention, not from Solana, but from Ethereum and from people from other chains. So now you're probably gonna start seeing all these other people trying to make some airdrop coin on Solana at some point. It's gonna be like a domino effect. That's what's gonna be interesting going forward.
Yeah, and I've actually, well, look, so two things on this. The first one is, according to DeFi Llama, the the sort of total value locked on the Solana chain has actually gone up by about 12% in the past 24 hours. So, I mean, look, the effects are pretty good on Solana. I think this is super bullish for sort of a narrative of DeFi to maybe start slowly recovering. I'll be keeping a close eye on that, see where that goes. I've been keeping away from DeFi for a while, but I mean, if the Solana space can start showing signs of recovery, I might play around in the space. But I've actually just received news that Chile will be launching another meme coin soon. So I'm just waiting for more info on this because I see, this information seems to have just come out right now. I'm still trying to find out what coin it is and where it'll be going, but the information's pretty solid. Yeah, I've got it from one of the DGods guys who's also in the Google's Discord. So let's see how it goes. We may be in for another round too.
Say that last part again. Chili's?
Yeah, they're releasing another shitcoin. So I don't know anything about it yet. I just received the info. I just got it from Power Grinders. So Power Grinders is actually owned by one of DGod's alpha callers, and the owner of it is also in the Google's Discord. So the information should be pretty solid. Yeah, it's a private alpha group. It's very, very difficult to get inside it, but it's actually owned by NFT Doctor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and NFT.
Yeah.
Dude, he's such a good trader, and he has so much information. The guy owns like 4 or 5 mythical DGods, and he also owns one Google. So the amount of information that this guy gets is insane. He just posted on the Discord talking about that's NFT Doctor. Really, really nice guy, and probably one of the best. I wouldn't call him a trader. He's a little bit more of an investor, but the dude is solid. So, we might be down for round 2 now.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot riskier.
Yeah. We've seen it with the CryptoPunks. I mean, we all know it's probably gonna be profitable again, but not as much as Bonk. That's what I would say on this topic. Because and also I've been a trader of a lot of shitcoins, to be honest with you guys. I mean, 2021 I made like all of my money by trading shitcoins, so I have some experience in this field.
That is disgusting.
Yeah.
That's what I do, Zircon.
Yeah. I'm like, imagine
from
been
back
trading,
in the day, man.
Yeah. I've been trading shitcoins on the Binance Smart Chain for like all of 2021. I made a lot of money and could have been made a lot more if I this is gonna sound ridiculous, but I didn't take as much as risks, to be honest. I mean,
what? You're trading shitcoins? How much more risk do you want?
There's risk on risk. Okay.
Yeah, but I want to say, on my defense, on the bull market, it's really easy to trade almost anything. I mean, you can make money out of grapes on the bull market. So I took risks that weren't that would last at least I don't know, a month. So I would trade them these shit coins that would last a month, made money, get out, and repeat the cycle like a couple of times.
You know what?
So
You
yeah.
heard it, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Join the Value Vibes Discord. I'll be posting the link for this new shitcoin once it happens, and we'll just be trading it with
For
Zircon.
sure.
Yeah.
Man is a pro shitcoin trader. And apparently he doesn't take enough risks. So whatever he does, just double down on it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I did not. Actually, I don't even want to talk about 2021. I was gonna say like what the coin I traded. I don't even want to mention it actually, but so we just talked about Bonk, and then there's this other one that just basically just minted out. It's called Taiyo Pilots. This is one that Soul Investor talked about for quite some time. Some of us actually traded in with Taiyo Oil. It went from like 10 Sol, went 20. From 20 we bought in, and then 30 around 30 Solana. We basically sold. I got back into Taiyo Pilots after a couple of news, which was the main one that got me wanting to go back in, which I did was that Taiyo Pilots said that you're gonna need 25 Taiyo Pilots to be part of the council.
Wow.
That is bullish for me because there's a lot of people that love this project and want to be close to Soulport Tom, and this is the way they're going to be close to him because this is Soulport's Tom baby. He loves Tyra Box, but he made this project. This is his. He made it. So this is like Tyra Box is an adopted child. This is his son. So what do you think of this, Zircon? And then we'll go on to Soul Investor.
I mean, we already talked a lot about pilots. I want to say that for me, compared to Taiyo Robotics, like Taiyo Pilots, it's like more I think, or I want to see it as more community driven just because of the supply. So I really, really like the everything that they are doing with this, and this thing about the council. I think it's genius because even with that, the price of the pilots it's start to spike up a little bit with the considering the supply, and I think it's gonna be really, really bullish on them to let people be involved on the project just by holding a bunch of pilots. I mean, we're talking about probably one of the most important collections on Solana now that the Frank decided to bridge the gods. So this is gonna be huge for pilots.
What do you say about this, Soul Investor, on the Taiyo Pilots? I'm gonna bring up the chart.
I mean, look, one thing I'd say about Taiyo Pilots and Taiyo Oils, dude, I have been extremely consistent. So as you know, I faded myself at 4 Sol and ended up buying in at like 20. I faded myself on the exit because I said this is going to go to 40. It went to 39. I sold this at like 26. And I'm proud to announce that I was bullish on pilots. I didn't enter at 18. Instead, I entered at 20 and then paper handed at 24. So my consistency with this project is incredible. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm fading myself with this project in particular. I mean, it's a straight line up. I mean, this isn't complicated. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But no, look, I think these things are going to go to 50 Sol eventually, and maybe in the future, heck, this thing might hit 100. But I mean, I've been waiting for a pullback for like 3 days now.
Yeah,
waiting.
that is basically what I'm aiming at right now. I bought back in and I listed it at 50, I think 59, with the Taiyo Pilots. So I think it's gonna reach that levels because of they have a team behind this whole lore and the production part of it. So they're gonna be pumping out content like crazy. They're definitely using Twitter to its advantage. So that's it's gonna get interesting, boys. It's gonna get interesting on this. But
I think it's gonna rip.
Yeah, I think so. I think so as well.
I'm gonna keep fading myself.
Now, so we got this other thing that basically Soul Investor brought up. It's Toys R Us. Some interesting stuff is going on. Well, what's happening, Soul Investor?
It's actually, well, it depends on your definition of interesting. Look, here's the thing. Toys R Us minted in December. I wasn't too bullish on them, but I do like the art. And recently I started looking into them and checking out what are the latest updates, what are they up to, etc., etc. These guys haven't made an announcement since last month on the 17th.
Wow.
So I don't understand how they're holding above 3 Sol. But what I do know is that they did say that staking is coming out January, February. But I mean, look, for a project, especially a project connected to Anybody's who knows the space really well, to have not made an announcement since the 17th, I mean, that is just insane. That
That
is
is
just
a nice
insane.
point. That is a nice point. That's a nice catch.
Yeah.
That's a nice eye right there on that. That they haven't made an announcement, and they're at 303.66 Solana, still at 5%. Somewhere here, it's still holding off. Surprisingly, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised on that in some way. But Zircon, is this something now? There's a Web2 company that's coming into the
Yeah.
space without not much knowledge in the degen world and the NFT world, but they have Anybody's helping them out. Is this something that you could potentially get in, or would you just watch this project move and see how they move with this
This is
staking mechanism?
this is the thing. If this project was with let's say the same name, well, no, because it's related to a company. Let's say it's made by some degen, I wouldn't even buy, and everyone would be already saying it's a rug just because of no announcements like in 20 days.
Yeah.
But the thing that they have Anybody's behind them, and that I always say, I mean, it's something. Some people say it's kind of silly to say this, but they have the money to work the project out. So there's no reason to rug a project for how much it was the mint 3, 4, 5 Sol. I mean, we're talking about not much money for these big companies. So I would keep an eye on them, and I definitely would consider buying them if I get some news on the upcoming days, I would say, because weeks, we already have some weeks. But yeah, I mean, it's like in this gray area where you don't know what's gonna happen. Because it's holding so good as well. I mean, we're talking this. I already thought this would be like at 2 Sol. If I think if anybody wasn't involved, they would already be at 1.5 or something like that, just because of no news. I mean, people get scary really, really fast when they don't get announcements and no news on what's being developed by the project.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm going to buy
So
in on the 20th.
on the 20th of January.
Yep, because they basically said that I'm actually just going to open this announcement because I just don't want to get this wrong.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
their staking is coming out between January and February, where you can earn their token. And I believe you can either burn these tokens or burn the NFTs to sort of get redeemable, such as toys, cards, games, etc. And they said this feature is also coming out in January, February of 2023. So they just haven't made an announcement. If they do make a super bullish announcement, I'm going to keep a close eye on the announcement tabs. If they do make one within the next few days or within the next 2 weeks, I'll just buy in and play off the announcement pump. If they don't, I'm just going to buy in on like the 20th, 21st, and I'll probably end up holding it for like 3 weeks. If we see nothing by then, I'll probably cut my losses. Hopefully, if we see something, it might bounce back up to like 6 but we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm gonna be doing the same thing. But first I'm gonna look further into the Discord and see what see the action here, and for sure I do want to get into this because I just bought an Anybody's yesterday, around this price, summer 2021, and this is gonna go down. I think it's still gonna, it's still gonna be stable or going down because they're working on Toys R Us and not gonna be announcing the next brand while they're doing this. That's kind of like, that doesn't make sense. But for sure, Toys R Us is something that I know that Ellie does not want to bring down because that's basically his whole brand right now, his whole way of getting into other Web2 brands. So yeah, for sure. This one, this is a good point right here on what you guys said. All right. Anything else, Soul Investor? You got something?
I'm one thing that's interesting. I want to see if Anybody's bumps with Toys R Us. Does the price action of Anybody's affect the price action of Toys R Us? And that's one thing that I'm going to be looking closely at, because if it does, it really shows you how to play sort of the next time Anybody decides to release anything. But I agree. I don't think Toys R Us are going to announce anything else until either they, I don't think Anybody's is going to announce anything else until either they pump Toys R Us or they admit that Toys R Us, this whole thing, it just doesn't work out and they scratch the project. So either one's going to happen. I wouldn't fade Anybody's, mainly because So Big Brain isn't fading them. So yeah, I'll be tracking those two price actions pretty closely.
Now, we also have and something else that we definitely have to talk about. It's basically the Lunar NFT, which we've been trying to predict on what's going on there. We've been talking about this since it was 2 Solana. We're getting close to that date. This was a date that Soul Investor kind of had in mind. And the rest of us are going along with it. we're going for the ride. We're going. I bought a couple more of them, and what do you think? Is it still the prediction? I think so.
Yes. So we've seen them kick off their marketing campaign. I was so worried when you bought in because I didn't like your entry. But anytime I've not liked your entries, it's always popped after that. Like I hated your entry for Lily. I didn't like your entry. Your entry was at like 9 Sol. I was waiting for it to come back down to like 6, 7 Sol. This thing pumped straight up to like 12 Sol. And this isn't the first time I've seen you do this. So once you bought Luna, I started getting worried because you bought it at like 7.9. It immediately pumped to like 8.2. I was concerned that it's just going to run and not come back down, but I'm sort of waiting for that entry at around 6.5, 6 Sol. That's sort of where I'm trying to enter. I think the theory is still valid. We've seen them getting a little bit more active on Twitter. We've seen them now starting to offer more token rewards for certain types of fractions within their NFTs. So it's clear to me that something is coming, and I'm pretty confident in this hypothesis. So I'm waiting for my dip. Please don't tweak this, Phil. No, please don't enter again. Don't do any of that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tweet anymore because I also like, for me, like when I tweet and buy, I usually keep one. And then everything else that I buy, I don't usually tweet because I don't want to make it seem like I'm pump and dumping, So no. I'm always careful on that. But the other thing with Lunar is like they always seem to know where the trend's at, even though everyone else kind of knows about Bonk. But it was funny that they announced that would you like to see a Bonk implementation in Lunar, and they have this other notice that said they're gonna do a 2x emission of these 3 types of zodiac sign NFT animals, because there was some type of it looked like there was some kind of fun that was going on between these 3. So they're keeping the communities going, moving. You can see that the tokens are now like have their own value within a sub DAO. I would say. So things are starting to like play along here with the 12 zodiac sign token sub DAOs, and then until that Lunar token comes in. So interesting.
Yeah, Man, I really want to see what these guys end up doing. I still haven't bought in. I've actually never held a Lunar up to now. So I want this to drop to 6 Sol. I'll probably pick up like maybe 4, maybe 5 of them. I'll sell 4 of them. I'll hold 1 of them because why not? And we'll see how this works.
Yeah. Now the other one that is basically I'm waiting on this one. It is called Slimes, and I've been following this guy for quite a while. This guy, his name is Scum Soul, and if you guys, I'm sure you guys have heard of Scum Soul from the gods. He basically left the gods team, and from the gods team, they all said they're going away, and he just released this new collection called My Slimes. My Slimes, I feel like, is gonna take one-on-one art to a new level because I have not seen anything like this. I haven't seen any hype like this on one-on-one art before. Every so often, I see a John Lee art, and the top dogs, they all say, "Oh, beautiful art" with their wine glass, and then they go pay 500 Solana for it, while we all just watch and stare. But this one seems like a weird one-on-one art that a lot of degens are, liking and waiting to get in. I'm curious on how this plays out and how one-on-one art will change after this with Scum Soul. So, if you guys see the art here, it is quite amazing. I mean, just look at this stuff here. It's more like an Aztec type, mid 1800s type of art from the Spaniards, conquistadors, and the Mesopotamia and all that. Not Mesopotamia, the Meso Aztecs, right? Mesopotamia. But overall, dude, I put notifications here. I'm gonna try to get into this. I really love this. Zircon, what do you think? Zircon, you're from around the Latin American area too. Like,
yeah.
What do you think of this art?
I really like them. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but back on the day, I bought some carpets that were kind of Aztec looking. So I really like this kind of art, and I want to see. I haven't seen much of one-on-ones in a while, so it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I really like one-on-ones, but it's always like people don't give them the value that it deserves, in my opinion. So it's gonna be interesting to see someone as big as Scum Soul to just try and bring one-on-one art collection and see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see tomorrow because tomorrow supposedly I think is mint day. Soul Invest, are you into one-on-one art or do you typically stay away from that?
It's just a space I haven't explored yet. You guys know that I'm a trader, so the whole one-on-one space just doesn't have enough volume for me to really move stuff around. I will say this, Danny, can you get us whitelist for this? I'm pretty sure Danny's going to watch this video. You probably get into the Discord before any of us, so hopefully you can get us some whitelist spots. Because dude, this actually looks pretty sick. And I'm pretty sure that the DGods community is going to get behind this. And of course, a one-on-one art community is going to get behind this. Because these illustrations are... Dude, this is crazy. This is insane.
Yeah. This is beyond.
Hold this.
I would have this as a PFP long-term wise. Just because it's so cool. And just like what you said, I'm not a one-on-one guy either. I don't buy one-on-one art, but this is like the only thing where I'm just like really interested in getting in, buying 2 of them, flipping one and just keeping one. But I guess we'll see tomorrow on how it plays out.
I'm just contacting Danny right now. As we speak.
You're contacting Danny right now. Yeah, dude, we need whitelist for this. I mean, look, I'll put it as my PFP as well until Bodega Buddies comes out. I know I can't throw talking about that, but yeah, no, I really, really like this. I think this is going to do really, really well. And if it does really, really well, you best believe I'm flipping it.
Yeah, 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Release this Wednesday, 4 p.m. MST. I don't know what that means. Are these auctions? Because if it's auctions, we have no chance.
We have no chance. None of us
All
are
we can
rich
do is
enough.
just stare. All right, but we'll see how it plays out. We'll see by 4 p.m. on all this. But yeah, so that's basically the one-on-one side. I'm glad we talked about this. We gave it some coverage. We'll see how it does. Scum Soul, what's up? Now, there's this other thing that's coming out. It's called Toonies. It's another mint. It looks like almost like Looney Tunes in my opinion, but they're supposedly kind of hyping. Weirdly enough, I mean, there's only 2,000 followers, but there's quite a bunch of people following it. I wouldn't say like it's like to a point where like this thing will min out, but it's gaining traction. Like from I guess the best way to say it. These guys are basically almost like 3D ish. They got some cool little sunshine look to it, and definitely just keeping track of it. What do you think of this, Zircon? Does it
I
look?
don't like that they are 3D. To be completely honest with you guys, if they were 2D, I would be fascinated because I like this kind of illustrations, like from the first beginnings of animation. But the 3D cuts the hype in like 80%, at least on my case. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about them.
That is it because of 3D art in general, or you just don't like the 3D on this one?
It's a part is on 3D in general. I mean, we've seen it not doing as well. If we take like Lunar and some sort of NFTs out of the table, and I don't like the combination between these two in particular.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat as you with this. Just it looks kind of dull. It doesn't really appeal to me. A soul investor is that, I mean, just on the side of making money off this, do you think this is from what it's looking like right now that it could be flippable or tradable or investing?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I get why they're gaining traction. We saw Goonies hit like 7 soul from like a 2.5 soul mint. So I can see why these are gaining a little bit of attraction. Personally, I'm not really playing with mints at the moment. I think most of the money right now is in the secondary market. So yeah, no, I'm going to stay away from this. I'm going to stay away from this. I also can't really see any info on what they're doing. They do have this sort of Cuphead vibe, which is a really successful game on the Web2 space. It's just the art is just giving me those vibes. So I'm going to stay away from this, but we'll see how it works out. Oh wait, what?
That
Oh,
same here.
Scum
Like
tweeted
what?
about that?
I'm kind of that's how that I'm kind of surprised right now, but he just said I just got hit with the dopest Toonie sold news ever
What?
besides myself. Time Thief and Boys with No Legs are a couple legend.
Can you
So
actually check? I assume those two guys are the founders. Can we see their?
yeah, let me. I'm gonna open the Boy with No Legs up, see what this guy's up to and what he does. Interdisciplinary artist and designer. Clay illustration art on sale. So he's a. It looks like he's a one-on-one artist. That's working on this from what it looks like, and we have
Sorry, can you click on his exchange art? I'm curious to
yeah.
see how well his other NFTs have done within the one-of-one space.
Now with the exchange art, you got this right here. This collection NFTs. Retrospective 2022. 5 secondaries available. Says sold out. 10 editions sold out. Floor price 5.5. Okay. Now
Seems all right. No, not really getting anything extremely special. You know what I mean?
16 out of 40 editions left. Buy now at 3. This type of clay one. Last sold 3.5. Last sold 15 Solana for this one. A very
Okay.
clayish guy.
Yeah.
Last sold 15 for this one here. It's a foot with behind behind clay. Last
are
sold this
crazy.
one right here, a pirate. Wow, like definitely in the one-on-one space, this guy seems to be selling a lot of these different type of art illustrations. So it's looking
Who's the
good
other
so
guy?
far for this one. Yeah, let's look at the other guy. Let's see what he does. I mean, Toonies is getting quite interesting in some manner. But one-on-one collection on Soul TV, TT services, 3D modeling, AR filters, character rigging, toy making. Oh, a toy maker working on Toon. So this guy's gonna be the toy part of this Toonies mint. So right here, Time Thief is the first of its kind one-on-one NFT project on Solana, and looks like go our story. 3D artist in the Solana space who had his first introduction into the world of art through creating designer figures. During this time, he participated in custom shows. Time Thief works to foster a strong community. Okay, collections. Limited to 100 pieces. Each design with its unique and sale is accompanied by a custom designed figure. And okay, interesting stuff right here. Interesting stuff. Well, I mean, some of them are just from. All right. I mean, not bad. Not bad at all. Partnerships. Oh, Monkey DAO, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this can be hit or miss. I'm more bullish on Scum's project than I am on this one, on this Toonies.
You know, I on Monkey DAO, this kind of seemed to be Toonies. Oh yeah, here we go, Toonies. It kind of seemed to get a lot of people wanting to it's a 49 out of 49 greens. I pressed green too, but but Ricky posted this up. I've never seen a number like this. And like you see like twos, you know, some people like them, some people don't. You got a little 12 here for Fromos, but it's all ones. It's all one for this project. It's all one. This one's got a 6 red, which is Inkwork Labs. It's you know, you just go on and on. I haven't seen a 40 in a long time. Besides, I mean, just kind of interesting. Even DJ Lens as well.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way to gauge social sentiment. But why on earth do you have 4,706 unread messages?
Where?
That is way too many.
Where?
You have 4,706 notifications on Discord that you haven't checked out. You can see that
dude,
on the tab.
Where at?
So like where your tabs are, if you look at the
yeah.
Discord tab at the top near Magic Eden, you can see
Magic Eden.
4,706. Yeah, on the tabs at the top. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, I mean,
So that
just
tells you
all
how many
this.
notifications.
This are just old. I'm in like freaking 100 Discords.
Yeah, but you can mark it as red so you don't get like, you know, so overwhelmed.
Okay.
You give me anxiety, Phil.
Okay, I never knew that. I never knew that.
Once mine goes above 400, I gotta mark everything as red.
Yeah.
I never knew that. I just come on Discord. I go a couple of things. I go check out the announcements. I never knew there was such a button where you could just press red. It changes everything.
Yeah.
Just mind blown right now.
Game changer.
Yeah, and if something's in a folder, you can just
there you
mark
go,
the entire
guys.
folder as red.
Wow. Okay. Awesome stuff. I'm gonna start doing that now. All right. So there's the thing for Toonies. We all just briefly looked at it. Seems like most of us are kind of on the iffy sides of it, and then we'll just keep track of it where it goes right now. I think for Dino, this will probably be just one to probably try to see if we can get some whitelist as well, just in case. You just never know.
I already contact Danny. It's I mean I've asked him to get whitelist for as many DGen projects that didn't even sell out. So if this has a little bit of hype, it's already worth it for me.
All right, so now we gotta talk about something else. The Alpha Pharaohs. We talked to this group, and it's been like probably like 2 months now since the last time we talked to them, and they gained a lot. Actually, let's look at the chart because they moved up. They exploded. Let's just say that's probably the right word. They exploded. I didn't see it coming.
They
right here at 19 Solana. What the hell just happened? So, Soul Investor, this is one that you from here, from one Solana. This is all yours. One Solana.
God. Yeah, no, that's when we had Snooze on. And look, I don't know what Snooze is doing because like it's been 2 months. I speak to this guy like every day, and he still hasn't come back on the show. So look, he's the one sleeping on Value Vibes out here. He was here at One Soul. We were talking about how undervalued this project is. They started doing this whole they built this whole robust rating system, and if you participate in their rating system, you can earn like 0.3 SOL a week, which is actually pretty insane. And they're going to kick that up to about 0.78. I believe that happens probably sometime next week, based on what I can gather. Dude, these things have absolutely exploded. I think they're going to go a lot higher. We re-entered these at like 15 SOL. We picked up a few more in the Discord. So, man, I'm just super bullish on these guys. They're definitely building the best rating system. And yeah, so they got Meta Tattoo Club on. So basically,
they got Meta Tattoo.
Yeah, so they basically white label their product as well, allowing projects like Meta Tattoo Club to also use their rating services. And they have over 60 projects aligned who also want to use this exact same service. Wow. So it's wild. Yeah, and that's not even where it ends. First of all, I don't even know how they're actually managing to sort of keep up with all of this. They just keep pumping out these updates. They keep pumping out these partnerships. They keep pumping out these raids. It's insane how hard the team is working. And other than that, they have another project called Seer. It's called Seer. Sorry, I sometimes pronounce it wrong. They're also working on like a House of Alpha. They're working on a copy trading platform. I mean, these guys have just been going insane over the past 4 weeks. And I think for the next 3 weeks, these guys are just going to step on the gas. I think January is their month. I'll be shocked if I don't see them above 25 SOL in the next 7 days.
Zircon, man, you missed out on that talk with Alpha. You probably would have been the one that would have bought in.
Yeah,
if you were in, if it was at One Soul, it was like the perfect degen buy right there, and it was a good talk
with this news. I missed the episode with the snooze, and even though I don't know, it's you know when you hear the things at the first time, not like live, because I rewatched the episode, but even with that, I didn't have the impact that I needed to just take the decision and buy like, I don't know, 5, because that's the kind of things I like to do. I mean, if they were at the One Soul range, and what's I always think when I'm gonna trade, I always think how much money I'm gonna lose. So it was like 5 SOL wasn't that too much money. It was like worst case scenario, they go back to, I don't know, 0.5 and I lose half of my money, and it's not even the worst. I mean, I could have made 100 SOL at this point. So I'm really pissed.
Yeah, and they're going to go higher. I mean, I've been holding this since like 0.7 SOL, and actually 0.6 something. I've been holding this. Dude, it's wild. It's wild.
I really got mad at some of our members because we have a chat where we speak, and they all of a sudden say, "Yo, what's going on with Alpha Pharaohs?" Like, man, we've been talking about Alpha Pharaohs since they were at One Soul. What are you talking about? It's not like you didn't know that it was going to happen. but
no, it's a solid team. It's a solid team. I mean, look, I'm pretty sure they're going to go up to about 25, possibly 30 plus SOL. can they compete with the sort of 50 soul, 100 soul big dogs? Look, we got to get Snooze back on, and we got to ask him all of these questions. Hopefully next week or the week after, Snooze can make some time. And Snooze is not a collection.
He made his 101, and it's listed on Magic Eden.
But I'm actually going to drop a little bit of alpha. Sorry, Phil, can you click on the alpha Pharaohs at the top so we can see all their collections? Where it says buy alpha Pharaohs, you can just click on the alpha Pharaoh.
No. On the title,
like
you have alpha
on the
Pharaohs,
title.
buy alpha Pharaohs in the title of the collection on the top.
Yeah,
there
so if you click that, you can see the collection. Yep, so the second collection, Seer.
Yeah, Seer here.
Oh.
Yeah, so I would definitely recommend picking one up. I think these are going to move. So basically, these are the two collections that Alpha Pharaohs is really focused on. And they tend to pump one after the other. So we just saw Alpha Pharaohs go from 15 soul to about 22 soul, and now they've retraced back to about 19. We saw this thing pump the first time Alpha Pharaohs went to about that sort of 15 soul range. So they are currently consolidating around these ranges. I think these are going to go for the next pump. And I think it's going to happen really, really soon. So this is a project that I'm currently picking up on. We already picked Alpha Pharaohs up. We've already played on that pump. We're still holding on to them. I think this is the one that's going to pump next. So I'm sort of layering into this one right now.
I have my Needables money laying around until now, so I think I'm gonna buy one.
Yeah, you got.
Yeah,
it's at.
But please just wait a bit, because like I have a collection bid at like 5.2. So let's just wait till that gets accepted, please, and then you guys can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, they're at 4% right now. Listing is definitely down at 59. This definitely could get interesting here. Now, you got one more thing, Soul Investor?
Yeah. Sorry, can we see the listings for Alpha Pharaoh? The original collection?
Going to Alpha Pharaoh. We have right here at 2.72 right now.
Dude, this thing's listed at 2%. And like one thing that you can also do with the platform, if you own like 10 of these, you can actually rent it out and someone else can like raid on your behalf, and you earn a percentage, and they'll earn a percentage of the total raid rewards. So with only 2% listed, and you have the rewards going to double sooner rather than later, I'll be surprised if it doesn't happen next week. I mean, that supply squeeze that could happen can easily kick these up above 25 plus.
Oof, man. Yeah. Now we also have Claynosaurz that basically is doing some things. I know there was an airdrop that was mentioned, and Claynosaurz basically they released some clays. They threw out their actual clay makers as well. Soul Investor, did you watch that AMA on what they mentioned about those clay makers, especially that gold one?
Yeah, so I actually did both. I actually watched it and I traded it. So I got into these at like 27 soul, and I sold just above 33. For the AMA, look, it was happening at like 3, 4 a.m. my time. I watched like 25 minutes of it before I fell asleep. But basically what they're planning on doing, they're going to do another airdrop, and they're airdropping something called clay to the holders of the clay makers. I don't know if they're also going to drop it for the Claynosaurz NFT collection, but I know it's definitely going to be dropped for the clay makers. They haven't specified when this is going to happen, but I believe it's going to happen probably towards the end of the month. It really doesn't matter what rarity you have. You should still have the possibility of getting a rare. So I've been watching these really, really closely. Every time they dip below 5 Sol, they immediately get bought up. They get above 5 Sol. I'm honestly hoping these can dip to maybe the low 4 Sol, maybe 4 Sol, and then I'll start picking some up. But one thing about Claynosaurz is that, and this is why I probably shouldn't have sold, even though I can probably re-enter at the same price. Uh, they're very steady. They don't really have pump and dumps. And I think that's just because of the whales and the type of holders they currently have within the project. So, the airdrop is probably going to cause another pump. It's probably not going to dump much after the airdrop. Uh, I think this is pretty solid, and I think they start pumping once they start providing more information on when this clay is going to drop and how it's all going to work.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I mean, look at that. They had their AMA
they're
and they still didn't dump.
yeah, they're still here. They're at 4% right now. Listing hasn't really moved. It's just been steady this whole time. So, I definitely want to get another one right here as well. Uh, and just what they're doing is just insane. The one other thing that they mentioned was that the clay makers, the golden ones, actually have an unlimited resource of printing clay. It's basically going to be like a money printing machine, and these other ones are not. The first and deluxe ones are basically, from what I understand, it's going to be deflationary. But just the golden ones, and that's why they're at 150 Solana right now, is that these are going to be mighty special, and yeah, basically like a money printer in some fashion. So that's the other interesting part here. I really want one, but I don't know if I'll pay 150 Solana. But it probably would be worth it too, in some sense, if you're really playing on the long term when the clays come out, and you can make all these skins and cool attributes around people that want to buy the skins and all. They're gonna go through your money printer.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I wish they would give a lot more clarity on exactly, what this clay does, how does this sort of clay maker play in, etc. Uh, I don't know. It,
Yeah,
it it does seem super interesting. I do like that they're gamifying all of it. Uh, I mean, we've been excited for Claynosaurz since pre-mint, and we're still excited about it. So I think they can do great things.
I like how they just throw out that just that golden look on there, like clay golden, and then they drop this other one right here, just clay gold. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool. I know, Zircon. This project. Basically, I think you traded it as well from the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah. I traded from the beginning, and I really loved it. I mean, I loved it since I love dinosaurs. I loved the art since day one, and I was really scared that it wouldn't do well just because I loved it, and it went even better than I expected. So I'm really happy with Claynosaurz and happy that they are doing well in the long term as well, because they could have gone to, I don't know, 30 and then start dipping and dipping and dipping because of the market and things happening, and they didn't, and it didn't happen. I mean, they dipped a little bit and they went back up. So I'm really happy on them.
Yeah. Yeah, so overall, just a lot of things have happened around Solana this past week when we all took vacations and
Yeah.
and all that good stuff. The gods, youths moving into their own chains, their own world. Quite crazy stuff that has gone with Bonk. I mean, you could just miss out a lot this week if you just took some vacation off, just like pretty much almost all of us did.
Yeah.
So it was great catching up on everything on what's going on here. Solo Investor, you got any last words?
Uh, yeah, I mean, look, I think it's going to be a great, at least sort of first half of the month. I think the next 2 weeks are going to be pretty good for NFTs. I do think the market is starting to, show some signs of, we're like, I mean, basically anything is pumping, anything and everything's pumping, right? It seems to be in a state of euphoria. I'm getting a little bit concerned on that aspect, but I do think the next 1 or 2 weeks will be great. I am keeping my eye on any announcements to do with Solana's phone. I think that could cause a bump in Solana, assuming that the Fed doesn't just crash the entire market. Hopefully, the Solana phone can cause a pump in Sol. If that happens, we'll see a pullback on NFTs and really just have these sort of different factors at the back of your mind. But I think we're gonna have a great start to the year.
Yeah, for sure. Nice ending there. Yeah, definitely. Sol has been pumping like crazy. When that happens, I also tend to get a little bit of profit selling mind. So I did sell my sources, unfortunately, when it reached 5.5 Solana, and I'm still selling a couple of things here, and I sold all my kikis. I don't have any more kikis. I'm gonna be selling my one of my experiments. I still have I think like 3 more of them. It's just been euphoria everywhere. It's been crazy. Oh, and Ooze has moved to Ethereum. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, I think 2 days ago they announced that they're gonna be moving to that chain for some reason. And yeah, right here, mates. Please see full migration announcement on Medium. They're gonna be yeah, the whole wades and everything. They're all gonna be moving out. Well, bye. So
Yeah.
so there you go. I'm kind of sad because I really love them. But
Yeah, me too.
Zircon, you got your last words.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on the same page as Sol Investor. I'm getting some I think people start to get a little bit bullish in general, not just Solana based, and that's good. I always like that people start getting less and less afraid of losing money, because I mean, we know that's one of the risks, but people tend to be really afraid to lose money, and I think that's a problem. I mean, it's not bad to be afraid of losing money. The problem is that you're really afraid because you are overexposing yourself. So I think that sentiment is starting to change, and I also like that even though we are having a euphoria time, we are not getting into that minting season every single day that I hate, because it's like I've seen it, and when we get to a minting season, then everything starts going down. So I really like that we haven't had minting season yet. Hope it doesn't happen for at least a couple of weeks, so we can keep trading and making money. And other than that, I'm really looking forward to Luna to see how it goes during January. We've talked a lot about this. Other than that, I'm looking forward to Lunar and to Taiyo Pilots. I wanna see what Tom's is gonna announce in the next upcoming days.
Now, with that said, on my last notes, we have the CPI data coming out in 2 weeks from now. It's going to be around January 12, 13, 14, somewhere. There's usually mid-month. I don't know where that's going to be at. It seems like it's probably going to be around still 7.1, I think. Or if it is a little bit higher, whatnot. At that point, the euphoria could probably die down if it is around that range. We also have the FOMC meeting at the end of the month, but that's going to be a while from what we're going to see. It seems like it's going to be the same route with the rate hikes, slow rate hikes. Not much impact, but the CPI data is where I'm really looking at on this. So we'll definitely see. I know Sol Investor will be on the lookout for that as well. And that is basically all I have on this podcast. So for you guys, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment below, mint that like button, helps us out. And much love, happy new year, and peace.